for Billboard, but instead it is going to be St. Clair taking
Akira is going to try and fight this back. He's going to find himself a double, dude. Rapid went down. The smokes are away. So now it's going to be up to Kira. Oh, how antsy are they? And that's going to be costly. Quadra kill. Can he get himself the ace? He might have the flank on him. He's going to get the jump. He gets the ace. V1 finds himself a triple. This is completely doable. Big Papa. He led in game number 1. Can he find the shots here? He's going to find it. Does take down Parcel. Welcome back, Saints Nation. It's been a long time, it feels like. I hope you had a fantastic holiday, and we're looking to get into the CollegiateR6 Winter playoff play-ins. It's going to be a tough one, however. Our St. Clair College squad is going up against Illinois State University. We're currently, I believe, being shown as the 5th seed overall in what would be this playoff bracket. So it's going to be a little bit difficult. St. Clair coming in as the 15th seed, right? One of the last teams to be able to squeak in to this playoff play-in situation, but they're damn well going to try and pursue it further because they will have to take on Purdue next if they do happen to win on another date with the way the bracket's set up, and Purdue was being shown as the 3rd seed. So these playoffs are going to look extremely tough here for our St. Clair squad. Got to start with step 1 here with Illinois State University. Of course, my name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danners here. Going to be bringing you the action here on the commentary side of things tonight. And we also have Shadi Hanna, also known as Zeta Mental, working the camera for us in-game today as well. Going to be an exciting time. Right for the first time a couple weeks ago, we had ourselves a heck of a fantastic match then. And it's going to be probably just about the same here, hoping for a nice back-and-forth matchup. Now, your starting lineup here for the St. Clair squad is going to be a little bit modified compared to what we saw during the regular season. We still have JM Beast leading the squad as usual with Big Papa, Domo, Cookie Bear, and Miracle. But we do not have Kira today, unfortunately, for one reason or another. We could not get him here for tonight's matchup. So bringing back from reserves, former starting lineup player, we have Impact making a return. And what a day to make the return on. Here on a playoff match, nonetheless. So, Impact, welcome back to the squad, and you're going to get thrown right into the fire right when it counts. Of course, going up against Illinois State University, we have Snail, we have Patience, Fortra, Hooked Up, and Harabic on the side of Illinois. Map lineups for tonight, as we're about to get started just momentarily. And map lineups, of course, for today. We're going to start things off on Clubhouse. It's going to be a pretty standard one for the most part for game number 1 and 2. We're going to have Clubhouse, we're going to have Cafe. Then we're going to have Villa for game 3 if we do end up getting there. And we'll have to see. It seems like for the St. Clair squad, for the most part during this collegiate winter season, it's been either a stomp one way or another, whether we're the ones on the receiving end or benefiting from it. But I know the last matchup we did have versus Virginia Tech, I think that was an absolute slobber knocker. That was a fun one to watch. And I'm hoping this one would be just the same. As I know we're ready on the production side of here, just waiting for the players to give us the okay to get into the matchup. Shouldn't be too much longer. Of course, before we do hop into the match, I want to give a thank you to everybody who's already here frame 1, the frame 1 Griffin squad, or here, if you're here on the side of Illinois, welcome as well. Of course, both fans of both sides are definitely welcome here. And of course, big. Okay, and also looking forward to the sponsors as well, of course, that being the St. Clair Alumni Association, PC Outlets, Ekelman School of Business and IT, St. Clair's SRC, Tim Hortons, and St. Clair College itself, of course. Can't forget them. Now, hopping into game, looks like we're going to get right into it. Pick and ban phase now just about to get underway. I have no sound. Oddly enough, you probably heard me twice, but it is what it is we're about to get into this banning phase here, as we do see Thatcher. Pretty standard pick off here for the St. Clair squad. Just too dang useful in too many situations. Not going to have him playable here for this first one. There we go. Ibana going to get taken off the board here on the side of ISU. One of the ranged hard breachers in this game. Going to take them off the board. Beluzi, pretty standard ban as well. Just an absolute nuisance to deal with. Now, do we get the trifecta? Or not the trifecta, but the same 4 bans. If it's a Mira, it'll basically just be business as usual on the ban fronts here for a St. Clair match. I know. St. Clair really do not like dealing with Mira. Probably going to see him get taken off. No, actually, probably a little bit better off getting rid of the Cade in this situation. Getting rid of the opportunity for some of those electrified walls. Take a look and see what our teams are now picking up here. So oddly enough, we're going to see, as long as nothing silly happens here in the 6-pick side of things, JMB's picking up a Goyo, which is something I've not seen him pick up at all this season. Maybe trying something a little bit different here for the play-ins. Big Papa rocking the mute. Domo on Jaeger duty as usual. Then Impact is going to be actually picking up smoke duty. So he's going to be trying to stay back as best as possible and make sure that he can be available for the later portions of the round. The Miracle is going to play what normally would be JMB's picking up. The Maestro going over to Miracle. Side of Illinois State University, Snail's going to be on hard breaching and support duty there on the Thermite. Patience going to be bringing out the Maverick. And we have ourselves 3 hard breachers here with this ISU attacking squad. As we see, of course, Maverick, and we also have Ace here for Harabic. And then Fortra looking to possibly get a little bit aggressive too with that with Ash as well. And then hooked up, going to keep everybody's flank covered there with the Nomad.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Without further ado, let's get these playoff play-ins underway. And Illinois State on the first attack of the night here towards St. Clair's CCTV. Hold here on the 2nd floor. Pretty standard opening slot here for St. Clair. Everybody seems to love CCTV. The one thing that is kind of nice here with this Illinois State University composition is that they have themselves quite a few options to try and breach through this main balcony. Because normally, okay, sure, you can trick out the Thermite. Thermite's been in the game for so long that people probably have that timing down pat by now. But at the same time, you also now have Patience on the Maverick. You have Harabic. And actually, that's going to be the first blood here coming out for the side of St. Clair as Patience goes down extremely quickly. Miracle going to get traded out. Down, but not out. So some early battles here. Miracle is going to get picked up, however. So St. Clair going to be able to hang on to that player advantage. Harabic looking from a different angle here to try and maybe move towards some of the... or towards the site itself. However, his position may have been known. And I think that's Big Papa there going to find Harabic. So the ace is taken off the table, goes point blank with Big Papa. That's not what you want to see for the side of Illinois State. As Big Papa starts off strong too with a quick double. Hooked up, however, going to find Domo. So gets one on the board. Hooked up, however, it's all up to Snail now on the side of Illinois State. And full health as the diffuser. But there's just too many pathways to try and cross. That is not going to go in your favor. And St. Clair going to start off on this defense and start off strong. JMB is going to find himself that final kill, making that work from the catwalk. With that 2nd floor defense being successful, we're now going to go over to the basement side of things here for St. Clair. Big Papa looking to switch over to the Bandit this time by Vigil. Picked here for Miracle as well. Meanwhile, the side of Illinois State, they're not going to try anything sneaky. They're just going to try that over again. First round, of course, sometimes you have the jitters. And it may not necessarily be the composition itself that's the problem, so try again, why don't you? And JMB's already going to start making some 6-picks work. As he switches off the Goyo and on to the Wamai instead to help assist Domo with a little bit of utility denial, taking away grenade after grenade in this situation, which is definitely a pain here for Fortra, as well as those Ash breaching charges also get intercepted. So there's even more annoyance for Illinois State University to try and deal with here. Big Papa already getting those bandit batteries down. Start reinforcing the walls. Domo finding his positions and as well make those ADSs as annoying as possible. Stack them up if you need to, if you know it's going to be a heavily contested area. And we're going to have to watch Miracle as this round starts. There's been a couple times in the past where we've seen him get a little bit cheeky. I know he's only come back to the roster maybe the last 2 weeks or so of competition. But we've seen him, and him and Big Papa are the ones who tend to spawn peek the most or try to make a little bit of a run-out play. But at the same time, though, with having the Vigil, it is also an extremely good roamer, extremely good flanker. And as long as you can avoid running into hooked up's Nomad charges, those air jabs, you could very well just sneak away, since, of course, Vigil is able to turn on his gadget and not be seen by drones or cameras. You can move into an area, I think you're A-okay, and then all of a sudden he meets you with that, meets you with the gun. And you're not quite prepared for that, are you? Arabic on site, gonna start opening up some of these hatches. We do see someone on the St. Clair side of things just underneath. Gonna be able to call this out pretty quickly, I'm sure. Not gonna put himself into a position where he can get shot, however, so good positioning for now. Now, of course, the way things have been so far... Oh, that's a little bit of a whiff there from Patience. Going to run for the hills. A Miracle, sure enough, is going to find the first kill, and he's going to take down the Nomad, which means is those air jabs were not already placed out. You have absolutely no roamer defense on the side of Illinois State, which means, in theory, Miracle could go for, just free roam, essentially, at this point here, unless he gives his position away by footsteps or something or other. Appropriately so. A Patience just being extremely patient in that dirt. And okay, Miracle finds himself another all the way up in the hatch itself. Impact going to show up on the scoreboard here once again, getting a blast with that shotgun, making it work. All up to Fortra and Snail here to try and make this attack work. We have about 45 seconds left on the clock. Diffuser sure is in hand. That being said, though, you still got all the members of St. Clair you have to deal with. One going to be spotted out. Miracle is going to give his position away, is going to get dropped down, finally going down. 30 seconds left on the clock here for Illinois State to try and make the move. ISU matched up in this moment at least. Going to try and maybe push together, jump through the hatch or something. We've seen St. Clair do that a handful of times and not exactly go in their favor. But a lot of these positions are completely boggled down. We see Fortra trying to make something happen, not going to happen. One player left to go, battles it out. Big Papa with the double takes care of that diffuser as well and secures round number 2 nicely. With the first 2 sites going down nicely, St. Clair going to move over to the gym and the bedroom this time for their defense. And now after that one, Illinois State University looking to possibly switch up their composition just a little bit here. They're opting for a bit of a change. Harabic's going to be the one looking for roamers in this case, as he's picked up the Jackal instead of the Nomad, and it's going to be the Zofia instead here, coming out here for hooked up. I'll tell you what though, St. Clair, fantastic start so far. Big Papa leading the charge in terms of eliminations, but everybody on the side of St. Clair doing exactly what they need to be doing here, as Impact back in position as well, finding his spot back on the team, getting himself 2 eliminations nice and quick, as well as Miracle and of course Big Papa, like I was saying before. Illinois State University a little bit slow to start here, but well, still got plenty of time here in this matchup. Of course, it is first to get 7 rounds in these matchups. For this site specifically, we do see JMBs picking out the castle. There's always something about this additional second floor spot where bringing out the castle is just that much more annoying. Put it up on a couple of the windows or a couple of the door frames, and it really slows down the opposition.
Torches out. Time to ring some ears. Drone activated.
Okay, that being said, though, Fortra is able to get through those castle barricades, but it does require the use of the breaching ground itself, and of course, you only have 2 of those. So, with castle being able to put down multiple, they'll still slow you down in the end. Domo getting spotted out here by Patience's his drone. Getting a little bit stuck in the corner. Snail holding the long road, trying to allow Hooked Up to maybe make a move inside, but it's not going to be the case this time by JMBs. Finds Hooked Up, and there's another elimination here that is going to be Fortra taken down. Miracle once again found himself on the kill board, but Patience does get the return kill onto JMBs. Herabek actually going to find Domo as well, so but it looks like a very solid start here for St. Clair. Has been evened up. Herabek is inside the building as well, looking for footsteps, looking to pick somebody off. Would be annoying if you found the footsteps of somebody who was already dead, because then that'd be useless, but you can still have the chance of targeting somebody. Of course, Impact is going to be pretty much on the site itself. Probably not going to be moving. We do see some smoke grenades already coming out here. Try and slow down any sort of pursuit from the side of Illinois State. And Patience is going to move forward. Herabek finds Big Papa, actually. Willing to take a little bit of the smoke damage just to make sure that they can get a move on. Impact, 1 more grenade in hands here. Up to Miracle and Impact to try and make this defense with the last minute, 50 seconds specifically, to try and get involved. Impact taking a little bit of damage. Illinois a little bit bunched up, however. Snail going to get the win onto Miracle, and actually Patience cleans up Impact. So there we go. Illinois State find themselves on the board, making the adjustments necessary and making this odd defensive spot here for St. Clair, and like really punishing them for it. But nicely done on the side of Illinois State, stopping the bleeding, making sure this doesn't start running away. But now St. Clair do get to go back to CCTV, and we've seen them hold this rather convincingly last time by. We'll have to see if they decide to try that modified lineup that they were doing before. And we do see again here, just completely ignore having any sort of roam control at all and just go all out aggressive. An interesting setup. I would love to see this get pulled off successfully for the side of Illinois State. Always a fan whenever I see Buck, but I know he's not as good as he used to be, but he's still an absolute amazing operator nonetheless. Why wouldn't you want to have a shotgun built into your rifle? CCTV once again here, and there's going to be absolutely no electrocution for the side of St. Clair. They're going to use Big Papa on that mute to fill that role.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go.
We are not protected. Perimeter defense online.
Attackers' objective is to
Okay, round
locate a
4
bomb.
underway. Let's see if Illinois can manage to pull themselves up there, give themselves another round off of a little bit of momentum that they did grab off of that last round. They pulled that one back actually quite nicely too, considering they went down two members pretty quickly, but they did bring it back to a 3v3 rather quickly as well. And hooked up once again, going to be moving forward inside the building already, down towards the bottom. And Snail's actually going to be able to get through this, it looks like, rather quickly. So finding their way, taking down any sort of mute jammer to make sure their gadgets work successfully. And they're already going to have a bit of a sight onto the site itself. Hooked up once again getting blasted. It feels like Hooked Up keeps getting taken down first every single round here. Domo going to find him there. Arabic getting lit up a little bit from above, and he's going to try and blast him out there with that shotgun. Right by the bomb, and in fact, he does find Big Papa. A huge shot actually coming out here from Arabic to tie this up 4-4. With just under 2 minutes left to go. Porter coming through the garage. Does spot out, or does know that the player is up there on the catwalk. I do believe that is Miracle up there. Hear that or JM Beast? They find Miracle actually, and Arabic gonna find himself a second kill. Catches Miracle getting maybe a little bit too greedy. Wanted to try and get that shot off, and not gonna happen. JM Beast is going to trade out his life or 4 tries as Snail picks him off there. 2v3, Patience getting lit up a little bit. Impact's going to be blasting off all the smokes. Snail's going to get caught out. He used a diffuser carrier. Absolute best case scenario here for St. Clair with only Domo left to go. But of course that diffuser being down, that's the main objective. Just defend the diffuser and you'll be perfectly fine. And those are some low health bars actually on the side of Illinois State University. Arabic being below a quarter. And then Patience just under half. Domo completely ready to go. And he is on the site, ready to defend as best as possible. A couple of the members of Illinois not ready to challenge it just yet. They're going to try and pepper through, see if they can find him. Of course, that's always a scary thing about Rainbow Six Siege, is any gun, one bullet in the head, that's it. Does not matter if it's a pistol or a light machine gun or an assault rifle or a sniper. Everything is a one-shot kill in regards to headshot. Diffuser is picked up. Diffuser's being planted. Where's Arabic? Is he able to defend? Where is Domo? Is he going to start making his way through? He does try to move forward. He's going to get the one, but he has to find Arabic, and Arabic has just been sharking from below this entire time. Actually, he's from outside now. He does have the proper angle. It's going to be a duel to try and finish this up. Arabic not going to let it drop, finding himself a triple here in this round, and he's going to put this series to a tie now. Maybe Illinois State University finally warmed up, finally got themselves going, and see if they can turn the momentum completely on its head and maybe start running away with it on attack. And with that round, that really boosted up, of course, straight up all the morale on the side of Illinois State, obviously. But look at Arabic now. 6 eliminations in this game after being at, I think, 2 or 3 prior to that round. So nicely done there. Snail getting himself involved. He did exactly what he needed to do. But just everything went right. This aggressive composition coming out from Illinois State University, really coming in clutch here. And we're going to have to see what happens for St. Clair to try and redo this. They're going to go back to CCTV, and they're going to take away, or it looked like they were going to go towards the bandit play this time by, but no, they're going to go back to the mute. We're going to have to see how that turns up, because last time it looked like Illinois State did make the adjustments necessary. They did use, I believe it was Patience. They used the blowtorch to open up where the mute jammers would have been, take them out nice and quickly, so you can put Snail's and so thermic charge right on the wall, blow a big old hole through the balcony, and then they were able to move from there. Meanwhile, in the first round, when St. Clair did win that one, it was a little bit more hesitant. They were stalled out a little bit further, and as soon as they tried to actually get something started, they did take down Patience in that first round. They wasn't able to make use of that blowtorch. So some solid adjustments coming out here from Illinois State University. Let's see if St. Clair can make some adjustments themselves. Trying to keep going with what in their mind has been working. We got JM Beast on the one line once again here in this one. Big Papa, we did kind of see him modify the way he was planting his mute jammers, not necessarily straight across parallel to the door, but on a little bit awkward angles. And you can see they're going to try and do the exact same thing, and Domo actually gets picked up by Hooked Up. I was cursing out Hooked Up a little bit earlier for constantly being the first one picked out in every single round, but it seems like a bit of a high-risk, high-reward playstyle as he goes in nice and quick, finds himself an elimination. Now Domo's off the board already. And Patience is still absolutely wreaking havoc here on as many barricades as possible. What he doesn't realize, though, is peekaboo. There's somebody right there. That's going to be Big Papa with the Uzi, ready to rock and roll. Takes care of him for his 5th kill of the series. And Harabik gets a rude awakening as well here. Big Papa finding himself another. Sure, you blast open the hatch, but now both players can look through that. But it is going to be refragged out. Fortra getting his 1st kill here of the game. And a good clutch time to do so as well. Probably good for Fortra to get him a little bit of steam built up. You won a couple rounds basically going down rather quickly or being a bit of a non-factor. Granted, playing a more support overall, even with a couple of the more aggressive, faster operators. But it's always good to get yourself on the kill feed. On the proper side of the kill feed, that is. So 3-on-3, just over a minute left to go here. Fortra hooked up, and Snail still here, ready to go. Miracle a little bit worse for wear, but Impact and JM Beast also still ready to go on the site as well. Looking to find their opportunity. It seems like Fortra is a little bit behind the rest of the squad here. Snail looking to come up the stairway. Did meet up with Hooked Up actually here, so they're going to try and probably push us all quickly. Have their eyes on the one site. There is one player for St. Clair, though, right around the corner, however. I think that's Impact. Shotgun ready to go. He's going to start throwing out some of those smoke grenades, though, so he's going to be able to stall this out just a little bit. 30 seconds left on the clock here for St. Clair to defend, or Illinois get themselves there. Hooked Up is still outside. He's on the drone with 30 seconds left to go. He must have complete full faith that he can make the callouts for his teammates to make the eliminations. And man, Fortra barely not going to find the shots necessary. Snail, however, going to burst in. He finds one, finds two. Fortra getting another one. Snail, he is barely going to be able to get that thing planted in time. And Fortra also found the kill necessary to give them the win. So Illinois State cutting it a little bit close, but they do manage to successfully take round number 5. Round 6 just about underway, just about halftime here in this first game. And they're going to opt to switch up here. Not going to go back to CCTV, go back down to the church. To the basement.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
So that was a big boost in morale there for Fortra. Was constantly getting absolutely smoked. It was 0-4 at the start of that round. Now finds himself with 3 eliminations going into halftime. Big old pickup for him for sure. Big Papa found himself or 2 nice kills in that one. That being said, though, eventually got traded out and could not quite finish the job with the squad. And then that got really scrappy for the side of Illinois State. They're down to the last 10 seconds before they even hopped off the drones and really started going guns blazing on them. Granted, they were able to win their gunfights, so they made it work this time. That has to be such a stressful way to play. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to give himself maybe a little bit more time next time by. Oh, everybody else is going one way. Hooked Up is on the other side, peeking through. Gonna try and spot out possibly a roamer, which is probably wise considering Miracle on the Vigil, looking to possibly make a play. We do see Harabik and the outline of the St. Clair player in the distance. Patience looking to ready to go through the dirt entrance of the basement. Meanwhile, the rest of the Illinois squad looking to go top down here. Hooked Up, making the move. Maybe actually trying to hunt somebody. And the Jackal is able to spot out one of the players. Miracle taking a little bit of damage, but not enough to really worry too much. Impact, however, is going to find Patience out of nowhere. So, going to get picked up rather quickly as Fortra find his 4th elimination here of the game now. Now he's all fired up and ready to go. It's what we like to see here. firing on all cylinders. Everybody's slowly but surely making their way towards this basement. That being said, though, Hooked Up's got to be careful. Domo was right there, ready and waiting for him to turn around the corner. Herbix still being an absolute nuisance there with the Jackal, spotting out players with the footsteps.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Their way through. Snail, diffuser in hand. It's going to have to get ready to move sometime soon. Minute left on the clock. Cute little play to take out the bandit batteries as well. Make sure every bit of utility is taken down, so every option is available. Forger in position, looking ready to drop down at a moment's notice. Domo gets taken down, Hooked Up, finds himself another one. Really starting to pick it up here. JMB's getting lit up as well. That being said, going to have ourselves a bit of a trade out here as JMB's finds himself a double. Miracle finds Fortra as well. It's all up to Snail. An absolute cluster here at the tail end of round number 6. Puts St. Clair in a fine position to try and tie this up at halftime. As it's Snail versus the world, he has to deal with Miracle, who's obviously going to be as stealthy as heck, and then we have Impact with a gas canister still available as well. I don't think he's going to be able to get onto this site and plant the diffuser cleanly. He's going to have to go in for a crazy gunfight, and it's going to be up against a wall as Miracle is going to finish him off, and we're going to be tied up at halftime. JMB's found his opportunity, found himself a nice double, and that completely flipped the entire shape of that attack for the side of Illinois State University. Now we have St. Clair on attack, of course. We'll get to see the differences in styles here coming out between these teams in regards to both their attack and their defense. Ace has always been a favorite from the side of St. Clair. We see JMB's picking that up right now. Ash is being played by Big Papa. Domo on Zafia. Impact is going to be picking up Maverick. Miracle on the Sledge. Meanwhile, on the side of Illinois, we have Patience on the Valkyrie. Got that 6 picked over already. Then we have Snail on Maestro. Herbic on the Jaeger. Fortra is going to try and play that roamer role there with the Vigil. And we're going to see Legion be picked up by Hooked Up. So an interesting pickup as well. Rather than picking up a smoke, I mean, Legion can very well, of course, get more goo mines as the round goes on. Of course, can fill a very similar role to smoke in the sense that if you go in for a diffuser plant attempt and you get smoked with a goo mine, all of a sudden you can't plant the diffuser.
10 seconds to insertion.
While we're at it, let's take a look at the scores right here, right now. Technically, in terms of points, Snail's leading the charge of the side of Illinois. But elimination-wise, we have Harabic leading the charge for the side of Illinois, and Big Papa and Miracle all tied up on the side of St. Clair with 6
Defender
each.
exposed.
A little bit of a slow start, and I think St. Clair may have been thinking that they were going to CCTV first, but that's actually not going to be the case. We're going to be going down to the basement. Miracle already taking a ton of damage so far in this round, down to less than a quarter. Just going to opt to hold an angle and wait for somebody to drone him in. Fair enough, fair enough. But St. Clair over this season so far has been basically playing this this 20-second meta basically to a T, where you take all the time in the world, get as much information as possible, kill as many gadgets as possible, and then you just blitz it the last 20 seconds. The scary way to play, but the way that it's been it's pretty much been that way across a lot of competitive Siege from what I've understood. And it's a good start now. Considering Miracle was down below a quarter, he's actually going to find Harabic take care of the first elimination of this round. That being said, Miracle taking some additional damage. Hanging on by a thread at this moment. Minute left on the clock. Still a lot of players alive on both sides here. Sure, Illinois may be a player down, but it's not something that can be quickly flipped right back on its head. Basically 2 players defending on each side. Fortra going to find Big Papa, taking the Ash off the board. Good shot for him.
Setting a sequential breach.
Now, something's blowing up somewhere here. We do see the goo mines coming in here. Miracle kind of panicking a little bit here. As Hooked Up is really starting to become a bit of a nuisance the longer this round goes on. 20 seconds. It's time for a blitz strike. We do see on the queue of JM Beast's Ace charges going through the wall. Domo looking for somebody, finds a goo mine for his efforts, and the diffuser is down. JM Beast goes down after trading his life 1 for 1. The Maestro turret is actually becoming an absolute nuisance as well. That being said, St. Clair winning this battle so far. Snail is still here. Does he have the Maestro turret in a position that could stop this defuse? He does not. He does have the diffuser down, and Impact is going to eventually find Snail. We'll take a look at that one in just a second here. As soon as he gets that thing planted, he is able to turn it right around and does find the player, so a nice little play from Impact. That was extremely close. I'm not sure if Miracle may have actually sacked himself to make sure that he killed off the turret. I didn't quite get to see the considering the absolute chaos nature of the 20-second meta style and Siege. But yeah, St. Clair going to be able to hang on, take the lead once again here in this first game. Of course, it's being a best of 3. We very well could be still here for a while. Of course, Cafe is going to be the next map on the menu here for this series. And if we do need a game number 3, of course, Villa is also on the table. I think we're bringing something very similar, and then we're going to see Bandit come out here for CCTV. Pretty standard stuff coming out here for Illinois State.
By attackers.
And just getting reported in now, apparently we don't have the complete field of view available here for you. We'll double check that in the settings next time, but I do apologize for that.
Excellent, Jammer.
Yeah, we'll definitely get that fixed up in the next round.
Magnets ready.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Jammer deployed.
Okay, round number 8 underway. Saints back on the attack once again. Let's see if they can reach this CCTV room. And that's a quick kill. Patience absolutely having none of it. Just going right after Miracle on frame 1, taking care of him. Barely hanging on by a thread as well. Both players getting a ton of damage on each other, but it's not going to go in the favor of Miracle. Miracle, who is technically leading the charge here for the Saints, going down right off the start. And Beast with charges ready. Sees the Bandit is there. We do see the electrified wall. Going to be a bit of a nuisance here for the side of St. Clair. I think being said, rather, that's a start here. Gets the first portion of Ace charge to at least get some sort of sight line onto the site itself. Big Papa from below, looking to start making his way around, make a play of some sort. Domo trying to get a cheeky shot through a wall, see if he can catch somebody sleeping.
Reloading, cover me. Reloading. We are now protected. Perimeter defense online.
A very slow start as per usual for a St. Clair attack. Impact just holding his angles. Beast droning in Big Papa and Domo. Domo looks like he's still up on the rooftops, just getting ready to hop himself in there. Of course, able to breach through some of the softer walls as well. Looking them get on through. Still a minute left. Is going to spot out, I think that's Fortra. So Fortra going to have to run for the hills here. If they can find anybody else as well. Does eventually get shot out, taken down. The minute left, St. Clair. Player down. Don't necessarily have much of a footing here either. JMB is going to get lit up a little bit to start off this attack, and he does get taken down. Patience with the second kill of the game, but he's going to get refragged by Domo. Someone's going to have to pick up that diffuser, however. 3 members left on the side of St. Clair. Really trying to be cautious here. Big Papa going to go in guns blazing, going right through the wall, and he's going to trade it out, it looks like. Gets a little bit of damage. Actually, no damage. No shots making contact. That breaching round, I don't think exactly hit the mark that he was looking for. And in the battle there, Domo did go down. Impact goes down. It's all up to the Ash. It's all up to Big Papa to try and make the play. That's a start. We have one. And he managed to find himself this 1v3 comeback. That would be damn well impressive, but you only have 10 seconds to do it. Turns around, does find Hooked Up. Gonna get himself the double. Nobody's home actually on this site. He might be able to try something if he plants it. But he is probably going to get charged upon any moment here. It's a pretty well dead giveaway that the timer's gone down, but the game hasn't ended. He's not on your site. Okay, run to the other one. And it's going to be Fortra on the mute. Just going to get the free shot and take him down. Close, but no cigar. Valiant effort there, but not going to work this time by. Round number 9 just about to get underway here. We're going to go back down towards the basement. Yep, we do see the switch up. For once, we're not going to see Mutant play. We're going to get Malzy in here for the first time in this series.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Rather than completely shutting down your drone and making it completely useless, why don't you steal it? That's, of course, the difference there with Malzy. But that being said, he's not able to really disrupt any other gadgets other than drones. But that being said, there isn't really any gadgets on the side of St. Clair's other than JMB's Ace charges that could be disturbed by it. And that being said, Ace's charges, sure, you might slow it down a little bit, but he can just go walk over, pick it back up nice and quick, and it's all good. As long as he doesn't try for a bit of a reach with, or an overextension with his charge itself.
5 seconds.
Pest control's coming in, of course. We just see Hooked Up, also planting a couple of mines. And we're about to get underway. Round number 9. Just about to get started. Curious if we'll see Patience try something different, or not something different, but something again like we saw in the last round there. Got up in an extremely aggressive position, was able to eventually find himself a double kill early in this round, or in the last round rather. Opting for a bit of a more passive play, however, get those Valkyrie cameras up and look for your opportunity later. Going through Fortra, once again getting spotted here from Domo. Domo going to try and find a cheeky shot, see if he didn't move, but not going to be the case. 2 minutes in, still plenty of time here for St. Clair to try and make their move. Against JM Beast and Impact drawing everybody in. Miracle looking to start maybe making his move towards the basement, a little bit of a backwards way through the stairwell. JM Beast trying his best to avoid this pest control. Might be able to make it happen, but it might end up getting stolen. Alright, Big Papa with minute 30 left on the clock, going to start making his move as well. Slow and steady. If I were to talk about the St. Clair attack, that seems to be the way it goes. Slow and steady, but not quiet. There's a correction I should make, however, as we do see Domo getting duked out by the pest control, apparently. A minute left. It's going to be Impact's turn to start getting through these hatches. A couple additional drop zones. And of course, this one is right on top of the site itself as well. Has to be careful, however. There is a player on the side of Illinois right underneath. If he finds the proper angle, could very well get a shot on him. Okay, that one's taken down. 30 seconds. I feel bad for Zeddy because this one is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Good luck trying to capture all this action because this one is going to look like a damn destruction derby in about 10 seconds. And it starts off here. Big Papa barely going to get working with it, though. The nice little sneaky hold to lob in a grenade going to make things a little bit irritating. Of course, Fortro going to be the first casualty. Big Papa with less than 5%, but actually JMBeast goes down. He was a diffuser carrier in this situation. A little bit of a worst-case scenario. 5 seconds left. This is why the 20-second meta is so damn volatile, as we see the Saints just absolutely get floored. Doesn't even matter that Impact picks up Patience, because you don't have the diffuser, and there's still 3 people ready to cover that if it does happen. Just risking it all on such a quick play. I mean, I know it's meta, but it's so scary still. So high risk. Yes, the 20-second meta is an observer's absolute nightmare. I completely agree. Poor Zeddy. Still doing a fantastic job, though, don't get me wrong. Well, I always like seeing a back-and-forth matchup, and we're damn well getting that once again here. Round 10 just about to get underway. 4-5 here. Illinois State, they can keep this momentum going. They've just got the last 2 rounds. If they could keep this up, they'll be on track, of course, to secure themselves victory here in game number 1. What a turnaround here for this Illinois State squad. I know I constantly keep referring to eliminations, and I know I say time and time again, eliminations aren't everything, blah, 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 blah. But that being said, though, like, Hooked Up was starting off slow. Fortro was starting off slow. Snail was always just the diffuser carrier, essentially, and he got himself a frag here and there, but that was about it. Now everybody on the side, or 3 people on the side of Illinois, saying there were 7 eliminations. Fortro right behind with 6. And then if Patience is the one with 4, I guess that's appropriate because he's just been defending as much as possible, except for that one round where he did get the quick double. That being said, St. Clair, of course, with a couple high elimination numbers as well, specifically Big Papa there sitting with the 9. Possible top-down attack here coming out from Big Papa and the rest of the St. Clair squad. Maybe try a different angle of attack of sorts. Of course, this is the awkward gym holds that we saw St. Clair kind of struggle with in the defensive side of things. JMBeast sneaking through. He's going to get peppered. He's going to trade a little bit of damage. Shot for shot of sorts. About a quarter HP on each player's side. And that is going to be the first one. Fortra is going to go down here. Take the mute off, but that being said, Big Papa gets taken down as well. 4-on-4 with a minute 30 left to go. And honestly, this is probably the way that Saints should play it. Get aggressive a little bit earlier. This 20-second stuff, it's fantastic when it works, but it hurts like hell when it doesn't. And it feels like you're kind of rolling dice. We see Domo finding himself a double here in this series. That's a player we need to see start picking up the pace too, and it's a perfect time to start finding yourself some doubles. That being said, 2v2 now. JMBeast has the diffuser in hand. Is a little bit worse for wear. Domo also here as well, but hurting about 50% HP. Minute left on the clock still. Snail and Patience both near the sites, ready to defend at a moment's notice, healthy and ready to go. JMB's actually going to try and sneak this diffuser, see if he can actually get it. Good defense coming out here from Domo. But that being said, though, Patience does end up refraying him. Shot through the wall, nearly taking JMB's out. He hops out the window. Absolute clutch timing here. If he can just hold on to this and really force Patience to try and come after him, it'd be a perfect case scenario here. Unless he just straight up goes for the counter defuse and JMB doesn't know. He fakes it and he got him! Patience with the quadra, baiting him out. Who said pros don't fake? He's going to be able to succeed this time, and now match point coming out here for Illinois State University. So close there for the St. Clair squad, but beautifully performed there by Patience. I was just giving him props that he was making his efforts known without necessarily being the leader on the scoreboard. Well, now he's probably up there, getting himself a quadra, getting up there nice and quick. Nicely done by Patience. CCTV going to be possibly the final sight here if St. Clair can't muster up a successful attack. They're thinking about the gridlock, but actually opting against it. Gonna pick the Ash back up here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Big Papa started off strong, but I think he's been having a couple quiet rounds of sorts in this game as well. See if they can figure this site up this time by. Snail, of course, on the Bandit, going to try and be as much of a nuisance as possible.
Seconds to insertion. 5 seconds left.
What did that pig can do? Anyway, possibly the final attack underway here. If St. Clair can't pull it off, we'll get to see they are underway here. Impact and Domo leading the charge. And actually, is that Patience looking for an aggressive play? I think he was thinking about it. Maybe a little bit, little confident after that, the way that last round went. Impact back on Maverick duty. Going to have to try and deal with these bandit batteries while not getting a shot out himself. That's exactly what I was kind of worried about there for Impact. Kind of getting stuck with a bit of an awkward position. Pulls out the flamethrower there to try and breach through the door, and somebody's right there ready and waiting for him. Thankfully there for the Saints side of things, Impact's able to run away just fine. Miracle making his position known as much as possible. Just looking through doors, looking through walls, trying to find something. I think that was Domo looking for a different angle into the area as well. Minute 30 still left on the clock. Miracle making his own door. He's going to be able to get a different angle towards that site. Impact has this balcony angle covered. I think Big Papa found himself a decent spot as well inside the building, maybe even inside the site as of this moment. Oh, he's actually from outside. Okay. Someone moving forward. Impact's looking for some ankle shots. Not quite going to find it. Minute left on the clock. Game 1 is in the balance here. St. Clair need to make this happen. Are they going to rely on 20 seconds? Let's hope not, because this is not where you want to be. Already a player down. Patience again going to find Big Papa. Seeming to get his number these last couple of rounds. Okay, that grenade, though, coming out from Miracle was kind of clutch. Does find Snail, so the Bandit's out of the play. These will my discs slowing things down. Herapik has those things in the right position. 30 seconds left to go. Here we go again. The Destruction Derby is ready to go. Flags up in the air, and the green is off. Here we go. Charging in towards the site. Domo's going to get lit up a little bit, but Fortra's going to be the first casualty as Impact takes him down there.
Seconds left.
From the balcony, does find his way. That being said, finds himself another. Takes out Harabic, is not going to be able to find the other one. That being said, on the other side, it's going to be Jambeast with the diffuser. Gets the thing planted. Has Domo here for backup. But we have Patience and Hooked Up. Two players with fantastically slow starts. Or I should say with extremely brutal slow starts, rather. But fantastic comebacks here in this game. Getting themselves the momentum necessary. They still have 30 seconds or so left to try and defuse this thing. Domo's trying to slow down as much as possible, but he's getting shot from two sides. Where is Jambeast? He's getting lit up like nobody's business. Patience finds him for the double. And of course, it's going to be Patience. Going to finish this off. He's actually just going to hand over the counter defuse over to Hooked Up. And that is going to be it for game number 1. Illinois State University successfully taking game
Bomb
1.
defusing attempt failed. Defenders win.
Solid back and forth game, but of course Illinois State going to take care of this one. Patience going to find himself on the MVP position here after that one. Fantastic finish there for him. A fantastic job for, of course, the entire squad there. And St. Clair had a little bit of a harder time on the attack side of things, but looking to bring it back for this next one. Of course, Cafe is going to be this the map for game number 2. Kind of mixed results there, but we're going to see St. Clair attack first on that one. And we are going to quickly throw it to a break to set up the lobby for game number 2. Should not be too long, about 5 minutes or so, and we'll get right back into the action. The playoff play-ins here, or St. Clair's playoff life, is still in the balance here. They have to win this next game to bring it to game 3. Otherwise, their season very well could be done till January. So we'll see you right back for the conclusion of that one. So you see the Saints constantly playing here and think you have what it takes. Well, why don't you just end up doing it and come apply here? to join the St. Clair Saints, join Saints Gaming, and get involved with one of our teams. Of course, League, Overwatch, CSGO, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Rocket League, and of course, Rainbow Six Siege. All looking for players for this January semester coming up. As long as you're a full-time student at St. Clair College with a 2.0 GPA and good academic standing, you might as well join us. Apply on our website and see if you can get yourself on the field as well. Join the action from the player side of things and not just the spectator side of things. Another thing I should also mention, if you're looking to get involved in esports on the production side of things, whether you're a commentator, observer, or looking to work in the behind-the-scenes side of things, also join our Saints Gaming Discord, of course, because would love it if you can actually fire an application at me and see if we can get you in that slot over there in the other commentary booth or working the camera and whatnot. So, of course, join us here on the Saints Gaming or the Sinclair Saints Discord. Fire me a message and let's get you started in your production or your commentary esports career. Stick around. We're going to be right back for game number 2 between St. Clair and Illinois State. Oh, there he is. Just about ready to go.
Billboard, but instead it is going to be St. Clair taking.
Akira is going to try and fight this back. He's going to find himself a double, dude. Rapid went down. The smokes are away. So now it's going to be up to Kira. Oh, how antsy are they? And that's going to be costly. Quadra kill. Can he get himself the ace? He might have the flank on him. He's going to get the jump. He gets the ace. V1 finds himself a triple. This is completely doable. Big Papa. He led in game number 1. Can he find the shots here? He's going to find it. Does take down Parcel. All right, game number 2 just about to get underway. Picking bands, getting ready for this Cafe Dostoevsky. I probably butchered that like a boss, but you know, it's Cafe. Let's get on with it. And of course, standard pick here to start things off for the Saints. Thatcher getting taken off the table right away as usual. Trying to think on the side of either of these teams, is there anything specifically that could come out that could really like throw a wrench in regards to a ban? That may have been one of them. Seeing the Maverick getting picked off, I know is somewhat common for Cafe. I know, especially for first floor attacks, it's rather useful. And then, not so surprising, ban coming out here from St. Clair. It's not every site that or not every site, but every map that we see it. But they do not like going up against Mira, so it's going to be taken off the board once again. And Maluzi as well going to be taken off because basically nobody likes dealing with Maluzi.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
All right, here we go. Game number 2. Now just about underway. Of course, for this time, St. Clair's going to start on the attacking side of things. Meanwhile, Illinois working on the defense, of course. See what kind of switch-ups we're going to see here. This time, Impact is actually going to be playing the IQ. I think the first time we're seeing IQ get picked up all series. Of course, with Cafe being such a tall and huge map to try and deal with, lots of room for gadgets to become a nuisance, interfere with things. Take it off the board while you can. Being able to spot them out is definitely nice. Domo picking up the Nomad. We see him play that Nomad a lot here on Cafe so far this season. We gotta hope for the side of the St. Clair side of things that their attack is a little bit stronger than it was on Clubhouse, because Illinois eventually found their footing and then just absolutely tore away with it.
Bomb located by attackers.
Now, the defensive side of things this is the first time we're going to see Ella get picked up here, as Harabic going to be picking it up. One of those operators that's not necessarily meta, not necessarily always being picked, but there seems to always be that one person on every team that likes to pick her up for certain sites every once in a while. We do see JM Beast blowing a hole through the first initial wall here, as we do see, I think that's going to be hooked up the first line of defense here for ISU as they get ready to charge forward. And then looking at St. Clair, trying to compare their attacks from last time by. I really hope they don't try to do this whole 20-second thing. Like I was saying before, it's just rather too high risk, high reward. And there's that Elamine coming in clutch, actually, really making a mess out of Impact. He's going to go down nice and quick, getting taken down from behind, actually. It's going to be Fortra. Not wasting any time getting on the kill feed this time by. Hooked up finds one as well, and this is looking absolutely disastrous. Domo's going to at least stop the bleeding a little bit. Does find Harabic. There you got the Ella off the board, but you still have to deal with 4 other members and pick up the diffuser as well. So this is going to be a little bit tough with a minute left to go here. Domo kind of making his presence known too, trying to look for a pre-fire. Nice shot for Big Papa though, does find hooked up, and Fortra is down but not out. This is a 2v2 now. And Domo does now have the diffuser. And Saints might have somehow turned this one around. Big Papa bringing this down. It's technically a 2v1 now in Saints' favor. Fortra down but not out, unless Snail could run over and pick him up. We see Fortra just on the other side. Of course, we know they're there, but the players do not. Fortra extremely low on HP. At least was able to get himself picked up. That is a very awkward spot to try and defuse. If you can plant this, sure it's going to be a rough spot to try and defend. And actually, that might have been so clever if that nitro cell would have killed from below if he was on the floor. Crafty, crafty stuff here coming out from Domo. That being said, I am very surprised that Fortra got that kill. So Domo is now going to have to try and do the 1v2. And that's not going to go in their favor. So Illinois State are going to be able to get the defuse on this. Fortra are going to clean that one up. Trying to make this diffuser stop as quick as possible if you Fortra and secure that one. I am very, very surprised that Fortra was able to get away with that. But Illinois going to take the first one there. So I don't know if it was the jitters or what, but St. Clair not going to be able to execute on that one. Granted, the fact that they even brought that one close was rather surprising, given the way that round started, or it was a 2v4 at one point, I think, or worse. Of course, now in Big Papa finding 2. And then props there for Snail in that last one, because Fortra did get back up, so at some point Snail must have ran over and actually picked up Fortra while trying to do the 1v2 at the same time. So Good positioning, good timing, and all just came perfect timing, essentially, there for the side of Illinois State University. Starting things off right, now we're going back down to the kitchen for this second defense.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left.
Mega dealer is on.
Camera in position.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Not really going to switch anything up here for attack number 2. Attack's still going to rock the IQ, and everyone else still exactly where they're going to be. Patience, of course, on the Valkyrie now as well. Arabic going to pick up the castle just to opt to slow things down. Again, this bottom floor seems to be another spot where teams tend to fancy the castle. And even though they're down on the first floor, Saints are still looking for that top-down sweep. Clear everything out as quick as possible, which takes a little bit longer, but I mean, if you're playing for the last 20 seconds, you have all the time in the world essentially anyway. You might as well just clear every single stairway, every single corner, every room. Make sure you're not getting flanked out by somebody. And that's not what you want to see, however. JMB is getting popped extremely quickly here as downed but not out up on the rooftops. Somebody's going to have to pick them up, and Impact is going to be right there to do so.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Miracle on site, of course, able to get through those castle charges and let Impact in to roam free, looking towards that other second floor bomb site, but of course no bomb there. And yeah, Domo's going to be a little bit roadblocked there. That's exactly the problem. You kind of need your friendly neighborhood sledge to come over and let you in. Miracle's going to try and play the top-down game. It's rather common here for this site, but that being said, elsewhere, Big Papa taking a ton of damage out of essentially nowhere. Shots fired, but nobody really getting tagged. Miracle's searching for somebody, but there's absolutely nobody on the side of Illinois in this area. And Big Papa is going to get finished off. Hooked up, going to take some shots, and then Miracle actually getting taken down as well. Back and forth battle here. We do have... Okay, is this the last 20 seconds? Sure enough, it is the last 20 seconds, isn't it? The bloodbath continues. The carnage goes on. Impact versus the world. Has a diffuser, but can he win the gunfight necessary? He is not going to be able to. I think he just walked into a shoddy. That ain't going to go well in your favor. As Harabic going to clean things up there. That castle shoddy coming in clutch as he tries to get charged in. Nice defense in Illinois, going up 2-0. Rough start here for the St. Clair squad, going down 2-0 rather quickly. Granted, I know a lot of teams prefer the defensive side of things in general in Rainbow Six Siege, but especially here on Cafe. So hopefully, I mean, I don't want to write off the St. Clair attack just yet, but I'm sure once the sides switch, they'll feel a little bit more comfortable. Or I will absolutely eat my words, but of course, I don't mind being wrong. The attacks may not necessarily have been going in their favor, but they're going to be keeping the same lineup in regards to operators this time by. And a small adjustment on the side of Illinois. We do see the dock coming out now for Of course.
Left before insertion.
Doc, of course, does have the ability to heal, but that does not mean he's a passive operator in the slightest. If anything, this lets him get stupid aggressive and then just heal himself after the fact, as long as he doesn't get headshot. So, could see Fortra look for an aggressive play. Of course, in game number 1, went from being rather timid and a little bit slow to start. But near the end of that game was like absolutely on fire, alongside Patience as well. Standard top-down strike here for St. Clair. Of course, that second floor going right into the middle of the building. Theory should be a tough spot for Illinois State University to hold on to, given the amount of angles they have to actually cover here. But I mean, if you just get some shots off right before anybody even starts moving, that's one way to do it. Harabic, once again, making this castle work for him. Sure, it might be a defensive and kind of like passive-ish kind of operator, but another solid elimination in his pocket now, taking Miracle out extremely quickly and early into this round. Big Papa going to be the next to move in. The rest of the Saints are going to be short to follow. Get those JMBs hopping down. Impact is already moving forward as well. Shots fired. We see the outlines. Someone was hiding behind the desk. And Fortra getting low, but not quite going down. Going to top himself up. Of course, perfect time to have the dog top yourself up. He's already back up to 3/4 HP. He had like 5%. Domo going to get finalized, and eventually Fortra does finally get taken down. Impact as well. Okay, back and forth battle here, it seems. Oh, but right at the stairwell, Patience was ready and waiting for Big Papa. The Impact JMBs for Snail, Patience, and Hooked Up. Minute left on the clock. JMB still has a diffuser in hand. The opening arises. Very well could make it the opening, make the play. Get that thing planted. And, okay, nice little play there from Impact. Going to find himself a double kill after finding the Patience in the corner.
A bomb has been located.
As we see here, Snail and Hooked Up, they're both playing it smart, playing it passively. They're not going to try and challenge him up on the second floor. They're on the first floor, ready for defense. Gonna try a top-down view. We see that Hooked Up is literally right there. GMB's gonna make his position known, and he's going to make too much noise. Hooked Up gonna blast him. Impact coming in, trying to clutch up here. That castle barricade might just be too much. I don't know if he has a way to bust through it. Does actually have a breaching charge, but he's gonna have to try and hunt them down instead. 4 seconds left. Can he find the player? He's gonna come through the breach or through the barbed wire, and it's not gonna be enough. Spots the player too little, too late. And that's why little things like minuscule gadgets like those barbed wires, you never really give them a second thought until it's the last couple seconds of a round and you couldn't catch up to the player because you were too slow from the barbed wire.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
The rough
as many
start here
bombs
for
as they
St.
can.
Clair is getting even tougher as Illinois making this defense work for them and continue to just kind of run away with this game. Now they get to go back to the third floor bar as well after so far a flawless defense. I mean, some of these rounds were close calls, but unfortunately I don't get any partial points here for having a close round. ISU can, of course, tear away here. 3-0 lead. Start things up.
10 seconds to insertion.
Looks like on the side of Illinois, Hooked Up and Harabic leading the charge in regards to eliminations. But everybody on the side of Illinois at least has 2.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Patience yeet that the camera outside. Possibly stick it to the wall of the building out there. Be able to get a really sneaky little angle like this. This is exactly why you fire them out the window. Get to see all the attackers come at you. Meanwhile, on the side of St. Clair, It's the sub, it's Impact, who's actually leading the charge here. Of course, Impact is not necessarily a stranger to St. Clair Saints varsity team, of course, being on the squad. I believe it was last semester, but he was not in an official match all season, and comes in here right in time to sub out for Kira, who unfortunately couldn't make it here today. But I'll tell you what, though, like Impact essentially picking up right where he left off, doing a fantastic job nonetheless. Okay, the tried and true attack coming out here for St. Clair. Didn't work last time. We're going to see if they can try it again. Miracle going to get the revenge kill, however, though. Is finally going to find hooked up and get himself on the right side of the kill feed. Going to continue to be an absolute nuisance inside the building. As long as he has backup from his team, this should be fine. Domo trying to get a little bit cheeky there. Look, see if you can probably find somebody on the other side. There were some players on the other side, but just could not quite find them this time. Breaching charge actually put a little bit of damage onto Harabik's Legion. Fortra taking some decent damage, but not enough to take him down. Nitro Cell attempt, not going to find its mark. All the St. Clair players, as of this moment anyway, still extremely healthy. I think Papa's got to be extremely careful. Does not realize that literally right around the corner, somebody on the side of Illinois State is just ready and waiting. There's somebody on the stairwell as well. A wise frag grenade, not going to find anybody this time. But how about this one? Does chunk Harabik even further, down to about half HP. And then in response, Harabik trying to get some of these goo mines out. But actually, JM Beast is in position to actually put this diffuser down. There are still so many members alive here from Illinois State University, but they're in such a solid spot that they can afford to do this. Snail and Harabik versus the world in this situation. And now it's all up to Snail. Last one alive. We see right there, Miracle and somebody else was right there, ready. And a flawless attack coming out here from St. Clair. Where did that come from? Did not expect that in the slightest, considering how their last attack on the third floor bar went. But it's always good to see some adjustments, and considering how that one went, like what Illinois is doing, it's like, okay, never mind. Let's just try a different site and come back to that later, or don't mind that play in the slightest. We'll have to see if this is going to be the start of something here for St. Clair. Because at first it kind of looked like Illinois State was just going to start running away with this one. But if there's any way to shut it down, a flawless is definitely the way to do it. And if they can maybe snag themselves one or even two more rounds here, they'll be in a fantastic position going over into the defensive side of things. Going into the second half, of course. And of course, with this being in the CollegiateR6 Winter season, these are the play-ins for the playoffs.
5 seconds remaining.
It's basically a single elimination tournament at this point. So St. Clair, they do need to win this game and then win the next one to keep their playoff hopes alive here. And if they do manage to be successful in that, they're going to have to play the third seed in Purdue. Still a long way to go here, because if we do manage to snag game number 2, we're going to have to go to Villa. And Villa is not a map that I've really seen our Saints play a lot of this season. Maybe once at most. I mean, I'll take Villa over Oregon, but I feel like it's going to be the same kind of effect. And oh, the cheeky little angle catching Big Papa by surprise. Patience. Right at the bottom of the stairwell, just looks up and finds him. Cheeky little shot. Love to see it. Turtle taking a little bit of heat towards the stairwell as well, as that Patience becoming even more of a nuisance here. couple of the sides still outside, ready to get moving forward here as there's just under 2 minutes left in this 5th round's attack. Circle dropping to the ground. Of course, this is a first floor defense coming out here for Illinois. Saints just taking their time, sweeping away every floor. Not want any surprises, to say the least, coming out from this Illinois State squad. Good little play there from Impact, able to get rid of that keyed claw. So in theory, they could use an ace charge on it and use that hatch to get into the basement, or into the first floor rather, if necessary. Miracle, however, going to get shot from below. Illinois really fighting back hard here in this 5th round and looking successful in doing so. Impact trying to play a Sledge-esque kind of style here, but instead of a hammer, using those breaching charges. Constantly just getting rid of the electricity. JM Beast is right there with them. In theory, they could use that hatch, but they kind of need to start moving if that's going to be the case. Because they're going to be the 3 of them, guns blazing versus 5. And not to mention as well, even if the gunfight does start going into their favor, you still have to deal with Patience's Legion and his goo mines, which I'm sure are going to be absolutely littering the site itself. And like I was saying before, you cannot plant the diffuser if you are hit by a goo mine. 20 seconds and counting. We hear those little clicks as we see right there. That's exactly the problem. You're stuck pulling the freaking goo mine out of your foot, and it's going to slow you down. Diffuser's down. This is exactly what you don't want to see. But the Legion player, Patience, is absolutely going to be cashing in at the bank in that one, because that is exactly how he wants to see it done. Solid defense, stopping that 20-second shenanigans, and Illinois State pulling ahead once again here, 4-1. It's the danger of a Legion. It's absolutely brutal to deal with, because even if JM Beast was able to get the kills, like I was saying before, if he was able to hop on in and even get onto site, starts getting ready to plant the diffuser and then just strikes a needle, well, now you have to use those seconds that you were planting the diffuser. You now have to use those seconds to pull that needle out before you can even plant it again. So just slows you right down. Not to mention it makes trying to win gunfights after that extremely difficult, considering your screen looks like it's full of vomit, but it is what it is. 3rd floor bar back up in the menu here for Illinois State. Last time we were here, St. Clair, of course, got their flawless, but prior to that, they were able to win on this site. So we'll have to see. It's round 6, of course, going into halftime after this one. Would be really brutal here for St. Clair if they do end up dropping one more and leaving it to the point where it only takes 2 successful attacks from Illinois to win the entire series. We'll have to see what happens. We see Snail on the Cade was slowing things down rather significantly. Granted, Impact was constantly on point, finding those Cade claws and just shooting them out whenever he spotted it with their gadget, but it was still slow things down just ever too slightly, and to even throw more of a nuisance. There's no Legion this time by, but Herabik is going to pick up the smoke, so of course, very similar style. As long as you can keep yourself alive, those smoke canisters can really make planting in a last-second situation difficult.
Located a bomb.
Air jab in position.
Scanning for electronics.
Yeah, this time Dummo's ready and waiting. Some of those air jabs are already placed all over the steps in case either Herabik or Patience or somebody on the side of Illinois State want to go for a flanking attempt. And actually, Patience, was that a run out? What did he do there? He actually did make the run out. Is going to trade 1 for 1. But who did they take down? They took down Big Papa. Man, I feel like they Like, Big Papa's found himself some frags in this game, don't get me wrong, but he has been absolutely targeted, it feels like, or wrong place, wrong time against this Illinois squad here. Minute 30 still to go. With the sledge off the table means any sort of soft breaching is going to be that much more difficult. You're going to have to use the 3 charges from Miracle's Ash instead. They're going to use 1 charge to try and get rid of that shield and that smoke. Going to cover, actually, where the player from Illinois was. So they're going to have to run for the hills in this situation. Of course, getting a little bit messy as we now pass this last minute of play here in round number 6. Halftime, of course, right around the corner. Impact still on the rooftops. Could very well spot somebody on... I think it's on the other side of the wall, actually. Never mind. Hard to tell sometimes. All right, the lights are on, the flag's up in the air. Destruction Derby time right around the corner, and we do see Impact, the first casualty. Then Miracle finds hooked up, so 1 for 1. Miracle might have spotted 1, but he did not take the shot. He was not quite confident that he could have hit that one. A bit of a hard shot to make with this gun.
15 seconds to go.
Time is not on his side. Where is JMB? Thinks right next to him, actually. Person right in front of him. Okay, Miracle going to find Snail. But the gas canisters are going to make their life extremely difficult here. JMB is going to be forced to plant through the smoke, and it is not going to go in their favor in the slightest. Arabic says hi with the shoddy, and Fortra finishes things off here. Makes the Mozzie work and takes him down. Once again, trying to plant on top of the desk to avoid any sort of nitro cells. But you cannot avoid the assault rifle in that situation. So St. Clair need to make this defense look absolutely immaculate. Otherwise, the CollegiateR6 Winter season is going to come to a close.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Now we're going to get to see the 2 different styles of play come on out here. Snail going to be, once again, the tried and true, the old school hard breach, bringing out the thermite. So many hard breachers and support players seem to have moved away from this operator, just because there's so many other operators now that can do maybe a little bit less of his job in regards to how big of a hole you can blow up, but much safer, or like better guns or something like that. But Snail has been pretty well tried and true to this thermite on every single attack, so props to him keeping the old school operators alive here. Meanwhile, Patient's going to be on the Nomad. We see Harabic bringing the Jackal out once again, hooked up on Zafia, and Fortra on Ash.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
On the side of St. Clair, Domo is looking to be the aggressor here. It does have the Vigil this time by Big Papa on Wamai. Miracle going to be on Jaeger duty. Impact is going to be hanging on to the smoke. And JMB is going to be on his tried and true, I think, unofficial favorite operator on Maestro. Starting off on this 3rd floor once again. Now the only thing like that's going to kind of hurt Illinois a little bit here is, of course, bringing the thermite. You actually have to have thermite drop down and plant that's a thermic charge on the wall that is normally where you would see a Hibana or you would see the Ace be able to throw a hard breaching tool from afar. Snail has to actually go point blank with it in order to do it. Puts himself at a little bit more risk, but granted makes a bit of a bigger hole in the end. And okay, little pot shot here coming out from Impact. Making that submachine gun work, and does manage to find Fortra getting a little bit too aggressive. So a solid start here for the St. Clair defense. I'm curious if Illinois is going to wait till like the last couple seconds in a very similar fashion to I guess, the standard for majority of competitive Siege at the moment.
Serious drywall work coming up.
We do hear that endothermic charge coming off, but it's going to be too little too late. We see Domo and Miracle finding themselves a double. Snail finds the player on the other side of the shield, is going to try his best, peppering down Big Papa, but not finding the finishing blow. And that's going to be a little bit of a nuisance. He got 2 ADSs right there. He's going to try and go in on the third. You walk around the corner. If he has a shotgun in hand, you're absolutely toast. But it is going to be Big Papa with the assault rifle instead. That's a thermic charge, looking to go up in just a moment. He just breaches through and actually tries to take him head on. Oh my gosh, Kool-Aid Man, why don't ya? That isn't an Oryx. That is Snail going ham, apparently. Nicely done there from Snail. Big Papa, Domo, and JMB still last lines of defense. 20 seconds left here. Patience still on the roof. Snail is on the building. I might be close to on site as of this moment. Taking his time, trying to wait for Patience to catch up with them. But where are the Saints in this situation? As we do see one get peppered down right away. There's only one player left. It is going to be Patience, and Patience will get dropped, kind of trading his life here with Big Papa. So St. Clair going to find themselves their first win on defense on the first round, coming off strong at the halftime mark. They find success on the third floor, but now we're going all the way down to the bottom. We'll have to see how they pull this one off. Smoke back in the hands of Impact. We see a 6-pick possibility coming out here from Big Papa. Gonna opt instead of a mute towards a Goyo, and oh my goodness, Arabic, don't you dare. Hey, alright, so we're going to see Fuse come out for like the first time in forever, I swear.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
Don't get to explain Fuse very often, but basically his whole thing is being able to stick his gadget into a wall, and on the other side of his gadget he fires off little like mortar shell like grenades, which can either damage players or get rid of gadgets. It's kinda hard to use in a competitive setting. It's a really awesome pub stomper. I know I love hopping into a newcomer or a casual match and whipping out the Fuse, but in competitive, that is so much more difficult. That being said, looking at the scores right here, right now, we have 2 players on the St. Clair side. Impact. You'd never guess that this guy was a sub. Leading the charge here alongside Miracle with 7, and then Patience also sitting there with 7. Keeping his momentum up strong after a very strong finish to game number 1. Has been basically on fire since then. But round 8, the attack is now underway. Going to be actually extremely curious as to how Arabic wants to use this Fuse. I feel like the common way to be would be him to go up to the second floor, go right above the site, stick his gadget into the floor, and then just let it launch. But I feel like that would also be extremely obvious. Curious as to how he wants to pull that one off. We'll try to call it out when we hear them coming down, because it's definitely interesting, to say the least. Kind of getting escorted out here by Hooked Up, which is probably fair. Not a bad idea in the slightest. Fortra not too far behind as well. Miracle taking a little bit of heat. And Fortra actually was looking to smoke him through the wall, but not going to quite find him. Miracle still taking damage, however. And the first casualty is actually at hand here. We do see Miracle does end up finding Fortra, so the sledge taken off the board early in this round. Minute 30 still to go. Still's trying to lead his team to victory. Throwing everybody in, keep safe, and then Hooked Up is escorting, I believe, Harabic as of this moment. Still outside, and Harabic, we are not going to see any fuse action as it gets completely shut down by Domo. Saints in solid position and try and push their comeback potential here, bring it to 3-5. We're still 45 seconds left in this round, however. Impact still full of smoke canisters as well. As long as he can keep himself alive, that can basically stall 30 seconds. We do see him starting to throw some out right here, right now. Domo gets taken down. Nice little headshot from Hooked Up. Miracle going to find the refrag, however, so it's going to be all up to Snail, who does have the diffuser. And then Patience is right behind them.
A bomb has been located.
15 seconds and counting.
Nest ready to knock up.
Try and split up and try and take him down separately, it looks like in this case here. But of course, no, you also have to deal with the Goyo shield at the same time, which of course is going to spill fire all over the floor. There is no way you're getting into this site. Completely locked down. St. Clair going to take that one convincingly. On the right side of Illinois. As much as I love to see Fuse come on out here, I don't think we're going to see it again. Fair enough. Bring the Jackal back out. And okay, I was going to say a Rooney is not legal in competitive play as of yet. Still too new of an operator. They'll have to wait, I believe it's either 2 weeks or 2 months before you can actually start using that character in a competitive setting. Yeah, strong start to defense here for the side of St. Clair. See if they can keep this up and run this thing all the way back to possibly a comeback. That being said, however, they've not necessarily given themselves much room for error. Now, I'm not sure if this is just us or what, but I think we might be lagging out a little bit. Oh, no, I think we're going. We're good.
Attackers need to locate.
Yes, somebody has to feed the hamster. Fair enough. Of course, this time we're going to the second floor reading room. Bit of a difficult spot to try and deal with, especially that the rooftop is going to be just another angle that you have to worry about as a defender.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Definitely don't like picking this site if you don't have to, but of course, winning in kitchen and at the third floor bar, you're going to kind of be forced to pick this one.
Reloading. Go, is a go. Code is barricaded. Activating drone. Swapping. Magnet fit. Defense is up.
The rooftops we go, as per usual, and then now Fortra going to just watch over that rooftop, see if he can maybe get a sneaky little pick, considering that's where majority of the St. Clair members are at least kind of centering around. Dave's Patience spotting the one out, and actually Miracle is going to barely hang on just long enough to take care of Fortra. I think that was over at the rooftops. That being said, though, a nice little cleanup there from Hooked Up. busting through the window and finding the finishing shot onto Miracle. Miracle with 10 eliminations in this second game so far. Okay, who did Harapic happen to spot out here? Of course, if it's the Vigil, then that's not what he really wants to happen. But if you do spot somebody who's already on the site, then it doesn't really matter. You kind of expect that someone from the defense is going to stay on the site itself. Yes, shots fired. No one making contact, however. Bit of a skirmish here up by the stairs. I think there's an ADS shutting things down here. Miracle may be taken down, but those ADSs do work from the grave. Nice little shot here from Harapic, actually. Takes down Vigil, takes down Domo. Domo having himself a bit of a rough second game here in this series. 30 seconds ago, smoke's starting to come on down. Big Papa gets taken down, but refragged rather quickly. Jam Beast finds him there. Hooked up Patience and Snail versus Impact and Jam Beast. Impact very well could stall this out at least a little bit, but Jam Beast has to be there to try and reinforce.
15 seconds left.
Final smoke canister going down. Nice shots. However, the refrag from Patience is going to knock him down. 2-on-1. Where is Impact's on site? Trying to defend as best he could. Looks the wrong way at the wrong time. And Impact's going to get taken down. Headshot from Hooked Up. And now this is getting dangerous. Match point now for Illinois State. It pressure's on. Everybody's just hopping on to what they're comfortable with. We do see Jam Beast back on the Maestro. Hopefully play that to fruition, but I feel like those Evil Eyes have not been as big of an impact as they normally tend to be. Domo going to be on the Cade as well, trying to electrify as we now hop over to this third floor once again. Illinois State, they have a little bit of wiggle room to work with as well. They can try something different, try to, not necessarily cheese, but throw a different strat out there if they wanted to, but it looks like they're just going to go for the tried and true. Of a team composition that you'd probably see the Saints run with the exception of Snail's Thermite, but of course that's just Snail's go-to compared to Aces or Habanas of Standard. And that's one way to start things off. Okay, if there's any player that needed a momentum boost, it was definitely Domo. That's a fantastic start from him, able to find the elimination onto Harapic. As Harapic may have been pushing maybe a little bit too far to try and get some gadget kills. A solid way to start things off. This little angle here from Hooked Up. So minuscule, I can't even see that with my glasses on. There's a reason why I'm behind the commentary desk and not the player booth, right? We may be Griffins, but we definitely ain't no eagle. Or I definitely ain't no eagle. That being said, Patience going to find Domo, take him down. 4-on-4, minute 35, just about on the clock. Oh, knock knock, hello there. There's a miracle for you. Hooked Up gets taken down. When you knock on the wrong door, and they meet you with the weapon. Fortra, and I think that was Patience, retreating and opting to hop in and go from the top down. Okay, Patience, never mind. From below, actually. Miracle was spraying his weapon, kind of gave his position away, and he went for it. That was a beautiful shot. Miracle definitely a little bit lost for words after that one. But it was a crafty little play from Patience. Freaks in the best ways, of course. Saints down, but not quite out. Okay, there we go. The Snail does get taken down, and the smoke on top of the diffuser is going to make it hard to try and get in. But since Illinois State University actually went in before the 20-minute mark, they have a little bit of extra time to actually recuperate themselves a little bit and try to make a secondary plan here. Unlucky there for Patience, caught himself switching weapons, but thankfully for ISU, Fortra able to clean it up one-on-one for the life of the playoffs. Is JMB's going to get it? He's going to find the double. This one is not over yet. The coach and captain hanging on for dear life and keeping them in the game. Maestro go brr. Indeed. I mean, when you got that light machine gun, you never have to really reload in a round unless you're just absolutely letting a wall into it. Hey, last time we were here on the first floor, Saints did a pretty solid job on defense, actually. Just shut them down to the point where they just completely ran out of time. Basically between Miracle's Jaeger just constantly shutting down all the utility, and then between Smoke and Goyo, there was absolutely no room that you can actually walk into without taking damage. See if they can set it up again, or if Illinois has the adjustment necessary to get rid of some of those gadgets. And I think the answer very well might be Harabik's operator pick in this situation. Why am I? It's a Cali. Okay, I was gonna say, why am I pulling a brain fart? What is that operator? But yes, it's Thatcher Light coming in here with the sniper rifle, and of course being able to destroy gadgets on the other side of the wall as well.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion.
It could be a very interesting pick nonetheless, though, because we see Thatcher banned so often. You do see Cali get a little bit more playtime because of that on certain sites, and I guess this one would just happen to be one that ticks the boxes here for Harabik. So, have to see as we move forward. Match point, of course, is still on the board here for ISU. One more victory, and they're going to be moving on to play Purdue. And then the Saints' playoff run will be ousted. At the very minimum in the season, they're still getting themselves a top 15, which, of course, is absolutely no slouch in itself. But of course, you wish to move forward. You're going to move forward. We see Snail and Fortra and the rest of the Illinois squad moving forward, trying to get themselves some ground here. The Arabic looking to try and take away some of those Cade Claws, or was it Cade Claw? Yeah, it was a Cade Claw. Snail about to blow a gigantic hole through that wall, and that could leave a massive sightline here for everybody, let alone the Cali with a sniper rifle.
Bomb located by attackers.
JMB's getting caught out. I think that was by a grenade from Fortra. A little bit of damage done to him. Domo still looking for his opportunity. He's picked this vigil so much here in this game, but the aggression and the roaming has just, it felt like it's just not been paying off so far. And Impact, the smoke is down so early. That is absolutely brutal. None of those smoke canisters are going to be able to delay the Illinois squad. The heartbreaker here for the St. Clair side of things. It's not necessarily done as the Heart Breacher goes down. The diffuser carrier as well, Snail, gets picked off by JMBs.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
4-on-4 with a minute left, and you don't have to worry about a smoke. That being said, a nice shot, but completely refragged. So that's going to be Domo. Finds the one, but of course, hooked up, going to trade it out right away. 45 seconds left to go. It is not April. That calendar's a little off now, ain't it? Beast finds himself another one. Beast, he's, of course, usually trying to be more of a supportive player, but he's been finding so many frags in these last couple rounds, really keeping the team in this game. Definitely got to give him props for that. Arabic might have found an opportunity to sneak this defuse. That could actually be kind of brutal. They are a player down, but they do stick it. Big Papa is launching off the Goyo shield, but it's going to be too little, too late. Nitro Cell in hands. He was just not in position to defend that defuse. Shots fired, hooked up, takes him down. Big Papa to try and clutch the season. This is a rough spot for Big Papa, because by now, Arabic and Hooked Up would have put themselves in a position for the defense. And I don't know how they snuck that one, but they just completely steal away the series with that diffuser plant. And Hooked Up going to finish things off and finish off the season here for St. Clair. We have ourselves 2 games of 7-4, or 2 7-4 matches, rather. A valiant effort. Asian's going to find himself the MVP once again here, and 2 players with 10 eliminations, and then Miracle on the side of the Saints going to secure the top eliminations for the team there. So a valiant effort nonetheless here from our St. Clair squad, but they're not going to move forward into these playoffs. Going to stop here on the play-ins. Of course, still going to make it into the top 15 nonetheless. Of course, there are definitely questions out there, some what ifs and whatnot. I mean, St. Clair, of course, were the underdogs here in this match. Illinois State, on paper, doing exactly what was expected of them. But it definitely hurts when you don't see the full original team come in for a game like this. But things do happen, of course. Unfortunately, Kiro was not able to make the matchup nonetheless here today. But that being said, I still do want to give props to Impact as well for not being in an official match all season. Came in clutch. He picked up right where he left off and was doing a fantastic job. But Illinois State was just the better team today, and they're going to move forward in these playoffs up against Purdue, who is the 3rd seed, so that's going to be a tough match. Of course, if you want to see any other of the CollegiateR6 Winter matches, be sure to follow their Twitch as well. CollegiateR6 is just like how it's spelt on the graphic here, is their Twitch as well, so you can see the conclusion of this this playoff series as well. Because as much as I love strictly looking at the St. Clair matches, I also like to see what the competition looks like. They'll definitely be keeping tabs on that as the new year arises. And speaking of the new year, for us here on the Saints side of things, this is the last stream, of course, for 2020. It's been an absolute roller coaster overall, whether it was like last semester or even the start of this semester, where y'all probably got to see a lot of my face and listen to a lot of my voice. But of course, going into this next semester, always looking to keep improving, and as well as give more and more students opportunities here on the broadcast as well. As much as I love being the unofficial, I guess, face of this stream, want to see more and more students come on out here. So of course, any students here for St. Clair that want to work on the back end or want to work on commentaries, please do fire me an application on the Saints Discord. But of course, speaking of students getting involved, I do want to thank Shadi Hannah or Zeddy for doing the observing here today, considering this is the 2nd time you've been working the R6 side of things. Solid job nonetheless, and keeping everything in line. So thank you once again, Zeddy. Of course, big thank you to everybody for tuning in, and thank you to the sponsors, of course, that make this all happen. All listed below, of course. St. Clair College, Zeppelin School of Business and IT, PC Outlet, St. Clair College Alumni Association, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC. But with that, that'll close things out for now. Be sure to follow us here on Twitch, as you're going to be able to get to see a bunch of the matches that were happening all throughout the season. Or if you want that see all the matches on demand, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. No cost, of course. Just go on and check it out. And also, somebody just got Photoshop and a proper video editing software. So be sure to follow the St. Clair, or the St. Clair Saints, the Saints Gaming YouTube channel, because I'm going to be working on some highlight videos that you're not going to want to miss. But for now, we'll see you in the new year. New season's just on the horizon, and I'm excited to see it. But for now, happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2021.